Hi, welcome back to our 10-minute training videos. I'm Jay, this is the lovely Benji that I've got here with me today. Today we're going to talk to you about travel sickness, how to travel with your dog safely and how to avoid travel stress for your dogs as well. So ideally, the best place to keep your dog in the car is in fact in the boot. The reason this is best is it stops your dog from distracting you while you're driving. You've got to be very careful about driving laws. Unfortunately, some cars nowadays don't have huge boots. If that's the case, then obviously we'll need to keep them elsewhere, which we'll have a look at. If you've got a small dog or a larger boot, the best thing to do is remove the parcel shelf and get one of the guards to go on the top of the back seats to stop them from jumping over and coming and distracting you. So if we move round to the front of the car, we have in here some different harnesses. The lovely Benji, you're going to sit very nicely while I do this, aren't you, Benji? So what we've got in here is we've got a standard seat belt, and what this does is this plugs directly into the seat belt like yours does and then clips on to your dog's harness. Definitely use this with a harness rather than a collar, because if you brake suddenly, you don't want all of that force going around your dog's neck. You want that to be on a harness. What we've also got is actually a specially made car harness. Goes on your dog like a normal harness would, but then through this loop here is where your seatbelt hooks. Plug it in, dog's nice and secure. Obviously you wouldn't ever do this on the driver's seat. You would put them in the back ideally, because then again they're the least distracting to you. So if we now come round this side, we have a look at a really popular method of transporting your dogs, which is in a crate. If we have a look in here, we've got the lovely little Teddy looking all sheepish. With the crate, if your boot's big enough, you can use one of these in there. If not, a lot of people will find the only place it will fit is on the back seat. In here you can see it's nice and secure. We put the front seat, further back, so if it is going to move, it's not going to go very far. You can also use seat belts to fasten it in, and some of the dog harnesses as well.
Okay, so hi, I'm Kieran, and we know this is Benji. Benji does suffer from car sickness and travelling stress. Some dogs will either do one or the other, or have both if you're unlucky like me. So travel stress is when your dog is drooling, panting, shaking and not wanting to get into the car. I'll show you with Benji. Not very keen to get in at all. Come on, Benji. Oh, you are going to get in today. I asked because we were using treats with him. If you have a dog like this, you'll know if your dog is stressed, because it won't voluntarily want to come into the car. I've been doing a little bit of work with Benji by feeding him his dinner in here and encouraging him using a clicker to jump in for a treat. Also, some good tips are to go to the car and play games. Basically what you're trying to do is make the car a fun place to be. Benji also has terrible travel sickness. Now with travel sickness, it's all about the eyes and the ears. Tip number 1, don't ever travel with your dog in the rear of your car. The reason for that is they're looking backwards out of the window, and that is the worst thing for dogs that are travel sick. Always make sure that your dog is facing forwards if it's got vision, basically. So on a back seat, in a car harness, facing forward. In a crate, but facing forward, never in the back, unless your boot is blocked out so the dog doesn't have any vision. Another great place for your dog to travel, if it's car sick, is actually in the footwell of your car. So this is where Benji travels, because when the door is shut, he has no vision whatsoever in there apart from me and the back of the chair. If you want to secure your dog, then you can secure it on the bars underneath your seat. You can just wrap your lead around, and that'll stop your dog from jumping up on the seat and obviously interfering with with yourself being the driver. Another great place. So Teddy doesn't suffer from travel sickness, but if he did, then I would cover the crate, sides, top. The back, obviously he can't have any view, so all he has is front view. He's only forced to look at the front. I've got such a little car, so there's nothing much he can see really anyway, but you could push that further forwards so that he can see it through the front. But basically with dogs, it's making sure they have front view only. Other tips: their ears are very sensitive, a lot more sensitive than what ours are. So Benji, like I said earlier, it's about the ears and the eyes. If you have your window down 2 inches when you're travelling, it equals their ears, and it helps a lot with travel sickness. And a little tip that comes from show dogs and other professional dog trainers that are carting their dogs around the countryside is to give your dog a jelly bean, would you believe? Just a plain old, just a plain old jelly bean, about 3/4 of an hour before you travel. You can also use a ginger biscuit. You can also just withhold food a little bit, but I find that sometimes with dogs that are hungry and they've had their food withheld, that they have a build-up of acid in their stomach, and that makes them just as sick. So with Benji, I just do the jelly bean, and I have no car sickness from him at all. Thank you very much for listening, and look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye.